Good morning, everyone. Good morning, my loves.
Good morning.
Today, I have my hubby again with me to give us some real life information as we go along this morning. My name, of course, is Christina Hill. I am your certified health coach, and I and specialize in emotional eating. Okay. And so today we are going to discuss how stress affects our bodies, loves. So let's jump on into it. Mr. Hill, did you have anything you wanted to say real quick before we get started?
No, I just want to say, with this beginning, or with this being at the very beginning of the year, I think this is a needed topic because, even though we're excited about the beginning of the year and everything like that, man, that can be stressful too. That could really be stressful. And if we're not careful, it can really have a lot of negative implications on our body. So I'm excited about what we have to share today.
Great, thank you. All right. Well, loves, before we begin and talk about stress and how it affects your body, let's first revisit our primary plate. Okay, and if you don't know, we'll go ahead and discuss it real quick. We have two plates. We have our primary plate, which consists of our relationships, exercise, a career, finances, and spirituality. Okay, and your secondary plate is your food. And why do we have two plates? Well, the first plate is your foundation. And if you want to look at it, look at a regular plate and put those words around it. And if any of those things in your life are off balance, then it affects your secondary plate, which is your food, is where we usually find where we're seeking comfort foods and we're overeating, or if we're really out of sorts, we may even try to find some type of control over our food so we don't eat. And that's not good as well. So we have to know what's going on in those areas of our life. If we find ourselves overeating or undereating, what is the root cause of my plate, my secondary plate? Why does my secondary plate look like this? Okay. So we always going to discuss and talk about first our primary plate in those areas. All right. So how does um, stress contribute to our secondary plate? Well, constant stress, and this is where it happens constantly. Oh, you're always stressed out. There's no relief. You're always in a constant state of fight or flight. Okay, and we're not saying that a little bit of stress is not good, because a little bit of stress does can alert us to danger around us. That it caused that fight or flight to kick in, and we can run, or get away from the danger. So that helps. But it's when they have that constant stress that causes inflammation in the body, that can different diseases can start to show up, like high blood pressure, anxiety, depression, stroke, irritable bowel syndrome, weakened immune system. Okay. And those are just a few that consistent stress, which causes inflammation, can cause different diseases. And so, what are some of the symptoms, some of the tips that your body is trying to give you to let you know, hey, I am stressed out, by, uh, and this is what's happening. I need you to pay attention to your body. I need you to pay attention to me. And so the symptoms that you can look for, like rapid heartbeat. Okay, you have that rapid heartbeat. Your heart's beating. You feel it through your chest, real hard. It's like constant. It's fast. It's like quick, like you're running, but you're actually not. You're sitting still. That is a sign that your body could be under stress. So you want to pay attention to that. I know Mr. Hill uh, watches his heartbeat. And babe, do you want to jump in and talk to them a little bit about rapid heartbeat, like how it affects you in the real world and real world tools that you use?
All right, there we go. One of the tools that you gave me is my Fitbit. I know it's kind of hard to see my Fitbit, and at least this particular model, not all of them have, but some models do, has a heart monitor on it, so you can kind of keep track of your heartbeat, and this really helps me in just the regular day to day. But it really helps me when I'm working out, because sometimes I can overexert myself, and then I just start feeling weak, or start, obviously when you're working out, you're going to feel some type of exhaustion. But boy, when you can really kind of keep monitoring on your heartbeat, that can really let you know you're exerting way too much. And so just having that as a reminder is really being help has really been helpful, and it's one of the best tools that I use. But yeah, I definitely want to encourage people to monitor yourself. And a lot of times, because we're caught up in the moment, we're not conscious of things.
Mhm.
And so we need tools and technology that I believe have been put here for a purpose to really make us aware of things sometimes.
Yes, that's really good. And thank you for that tip,
Mhm.
to be able to monitor your heart rate. And, it's an exact science, but it does give you some indication of what could be going on with your body. It's always good if you're experiencing rapid heartbeat to contact your physician. These are tools to help you so you can self advocate. When you go to the doctor, which is very important, keep a list of when you've had different rapid heartbeats, and then look at what was going on in your life at that time to cause that rapid heartbeat. And, show that to your doctor when you go to your next doctor visit, so that you can give them and they can have a bigger picture of what's going on with you and have a deeper conversation with you around your rapid heartbeat. Okay. So that's rapid heartbeat. And then you have anxiety, um, where you get the tightness of the chest. You feel like you just want to run away. Um, your mind's constantly going. You get jittery, nervous, or you clamp up. Those are just some type of signs. The anxiety, a constant anxiety, that there's something going on. Is your body alerting you once again? Hey, what's this? What's happening here? Let's look at those 5 things. Let's look at your. Is it your job causing you the stress, anxiety? Is it your relationships that are causing the anxiety? Is it your finances that are causing your anxiety? Are you not exercising to burn off some energy that's been stored up that could be contributing to your anxiety? Is it your spirituality where you don't have a practice? And I'm not just talking about my personal
Mhm.
religion. I'm talking about spirituality where you have a time to where you can sit, you can meditate, you can, if you pray as I do, you can pray. You can, use that time to just be quiet. If any of those things are out of balance, I mean, not, out of balance, that can contribute to anxiety. And so next we have weakened immune system. Okay. So inflammation has started to arise. And so your body is really trying to use its energy, all of its energy, to fix what's going on with you. So then what happens is, because it's spending all its energy over here trying to figure it in that fight or flight situation, that your immune system starts to weaken. So you may find yourself having more colds. You
Mhm.
may be more apt to catching the flu or whatever else is going around. Your body may, because you have that weakened immune system, you're more susceptible to different viruses and things that are going on around because you're weakened immune system. Okay. And so that's another sign. Hey, you're catching a cold every week.
Mhm.
Call your doctor. I'm just gonna put out to call your doctor. Why are you catching a cold like every other week, every 2 weeks? You got a cold like half the year, like, stuff like that, where it's repetitive. It's happening more often than usual. Okay. So you'll want to talk to your physician. Okay. Advocate for yourself. Say, hey, I've had a cold this time. I've had a cold this time. We need to take a deeper look at my body, see what's going on. Okay. And then we'll talk about later on how I can assist you with that. And we have stomach issues is next. okay, where you start to get acid reflux, you're nauseous all the time, diarrhea, where your stomach, stomach,
Mm.
just, you feel uneasy, you're unable to eat properly. And so when you're unable to eat properly, that hit your secondary plate. There it comes. You're unable to eat properly, and you're sick. You're not getting enough nutrition. You're not supporting your body. And so the stress can really wreak havoc on your gut health, which we're going to talk about next week. So stay tuned for that one. But yes, we're really going to touch on that. But stomach issues can arise from stress. Okay. So now, Mr. Hill, did you have anything when you talk about stomach issues or anything on that list that you have experienced in your own personal life?
Well, I think, in fact, I'd like to hear you talk. We kind of went by it a little quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Could you talk a little bit more about brain fog? Brain fog, because I know a lot of times, myself and others, when we are stressed out, we feel that overwhelming. Like, oh my gosh, this is just overwhelming. I feel
Yes.
overwhelming. We really have those issues with just thinking through things. So, could you touch a little bit more about how stress impacts us and maybe our thinking, and we have that sense of brain fog?
Yes. I actually experience brain fog when I get stressed out. And that's my alert to my body to let me know, hey, Chris, you need to slow down. What's causing you to be stressed out? And brain fog is where you just can't, you have a thought, but you just can't bring it to the front. You can't like work through like an easy problem. You're constantly in a state of where um not it's like confusion, where you can't put your thoughts together. You're unable to complete your normal work because you're unable to go through the steps because of this disconnect that's happening, this state of not knowing, like it but you can't execute it.
Mm-hmm.
You're just stuck, so in your brain it's just in a fog. And that's my alert to myself that, hey, Chris, you're getting too anxious about something. Slow down. And what you can do is you can write. You can start writing to try to get things off your
Mm-hmm.
mind. You
Mm-hmm.
can start. You can meditate. You can get quiet. Um, all of these things, and we'll talk about that too at the end. Is to give you some little tips um, that come together. And hi, Cece. Yes, that is so important. Um, Brain fog she's saying is unable to string three words together. Yes, very much so. And so when you have that brain fog, you really want to take a step back, just slow down a moment, and gather, regroup. If you meditate, if you journal, uh, just sitting and just relaxing a moment, and don't put any pressure on yourself. It's okay. We all have these things happen. Life is not just everyday easy peasy,
Mm-hmm.
there's no stress. But when you have these moments, you'll want to just also say, hey, let me step back. Let me take a look at what's going on in my life and get to the root cause of what's causing this brain fog. And then also, once again, you can talk to this with your doctor, and then I'll also tell you at the end how we can help you with that.
Hey,
Okay.
so you can also say something as well
Yeah.
that, man, with this show is so important because for those who may be joining us, and we appreciate CC and Alex,
And
we
my
love you
sister,
guys. And, yeah, this show is so important. So please share the show,
Lucy.
because one of the things that that Baby talks about all the time is your primary plate. But one of those is finances, financial.
Yes.
And a lot of, regardless of whether you believe we're in a recession, we're going towards one, we're not going to, regardless of however you feel about that, we know because we read the papers, a
Yes.
lot of people are being laid off from major companies. So whether you believe it or don't, those are just the facts.
Hmm.
This is numbers, right?
Hmm.
So that is causing a lot of stress for a lot of people.
Yes.
And what we're going to see, unfortunately, is a lot of that stress is going to be played out in their bodies and in their
Mm.
physical, the physical realm. And so please share this show because there are a lot of people that are stressed out right now. They don't know what's their next step is going to be. So part of that brain fog is that overwhelm. Well, oh my
Mhm.
gosh, I just lost my job and I don't know what I'm going to do next and da da
That
da. And
career.
so in your career, right? Career. Even as entrepreneurs, being an entrepreneur is very stressful. I can let you know that.
Mhm.
Cece and Alice can both attest to that, and so can you. That's very stressful. So
Mhm.
please share the show because our physical homes, our physical bodies, is where we
Yes.
live, and as it said, we live and have our being. That is so important that we keep that up, even as we go through the jobs and the businesses and all that. We want to keep our physical temple, our physical bodies
Mhm.
strong. So please, I just cannot encourage you enough to share with this with people that you love. Just share it because stress is a huge factor right now.
Yes. And like you said, with the people losing their careers, when you get laid off, you're not only losing careers, you may lose relationships. And that's
That's
two.
true.
And then finances.
That's
So
true.
that's three things out of your primary plate. And there's only five where this anxiety and this stress comes in and this brain fog comes in because of you've been laid off. So your finances, your career, the work relationships that you had are gone now. You may not see them anymore. So that puts more stress on you because three of the five things that you really need to have in balance are
Mhm.
going to affect your secondary plate. And that's where you can get the weight gain or the extreme weight loss because of lack of nutrition. So I'm so thankful, Sean, that you brought that back up. Brain fog, that's one of your signs to that when you have a lot of stress. Okay. So pay attention to some of these symptoms if you're experiencing them. Look at those five areas of your life and see what's going on and write it out, talk it out. And we'll talk more a little bit more about how I can help at the end. And so now that we went over a few of these things, you're saying, how can you fix these things? Okay. And so how you can fix these things, or no, I shouldn't say fix, but how you can begin to recover in these areas. One, you can contact me and do a 15-minute conversation with me, and we can discuss these areas and see how I can assist you with working through those areas that are causing you weight gain or extreme weight loss. We can talk through those things, help you build a plan for yourself and to be there to hold space for you
Mhm.
as you go through and you execute the things that you have come up with to help you in these different areas. That's one of the things that I can do. So that's what I do is I hold space for you with the free consultation, and then we can go into the deeper part of the program, which is 5 months, and we meet twice a week. I mean, twice a month. Sorry, twice a month, and discuss, come up with a plan first, and then we have discussions, and then we go through how are you executing this plan, what's going on, and like I say, there's no judgment. This is your time. I want to hear about you. I want to hold space for you because a lot of times in our life, we don't have a person that can hold space for us, that can encourage us, that can ask those high mileage questions to get us thinking about what we need to do in our life to get us to that next step. That's what I am here for. And so let's recap. Okay, let's do a little recap and the importance of balancing that primary plate in your relationships. If you have a relationship that's off, that's toxic, you know, if your career, like Sean said, you've lost your career now because of the layoffs that's going on, the relationships, your exercise is not, you're not exercising as much anymore. What's going on? What's keeping you from exercising, hun? What's keeping you from just taking a walk? What's
Mhm.
keeping you from um, doing like a cardio or even some strength exercising, what's keeping you from that? And I'm not talking about just physical ailments, like you twisted your ankle and so you're unable to do some things. I'm talking about the willpower in you that's stopping you from doing these things for your health. What's causing you not to exercise, love? So then also your finances. If your finances aren't in order, you're struggling, you're having problems putting money together. There's so many resources out there to assist you with trying to get your finances back together. But I can hold space for you. We can talk about it. I can help you come up with a plan for yourself, and we can. I can hold that space for you to execute that plan. And then when you're having problems with that plan, you have someone to discuss it with and to discuss next steps with. There's so much out there for you to be able to get that under control and to help you. Okay, so we can take some of that stress off of you. This is what the whole show is about, getting that stress off of you in these areas. And also, not last but not least, your spirituality. Okay. What's that look like for you? Okay. Like I said, no judgment in this zone. This is all about you. I hold space for you. What does spirituality look like for you? For me, it's prayer and meditation. It's getting off by myself, taking that walk, just to clear my head and my thoughts. That for me is all a part of my spirituality, my grounding practices. Okay. So that's important, your spirituality. So look at your primary plate and then go ahead and figure out what's going on. So I want to give you some tools now that you can use for your toolbox. Okay. I never want to leave you without a tool to take away with you that you can implement today. Okay. For yourself. And so one of the things in your toolbox that you can use is meditation. And there's a lot of apps out there. Like when I say there's a lot of apps. One of the apps I use is Calm. I use the Calm app. Okay. Or you can Google meditations and you can go to YouTube. There's some great meditations out there. There's one by Mr. Dyer. I can't remember his first name right now. Is it Dwayne Dyer?
Wayne Dyer. Wayne Dyer.
Wayne Dyer. I love him. Wayne Dyer. And he has one called Getting in the Gap that helps you to clear your thoughts, to clear your mind, to relax your body. So meditation is a great way to help your body to calm down, to de-stress. That's a great way. Also, breathing techniques. Google breathing techniques. I call it 4-step, but you breathe in for 4, you hold it for 4, and you breathe out for 4. What does that look like? It looks like this. You breathe in, 2, 3, 4. You hold it, 2, 3, 4. You release, 2, 3, 4. That's what the 4 looks like for me. And you repeat that 4 times. You breathe in for 4, you hold it for 4, you release it for 4. And then you start over and you do that 4 times. So that's a breathing technique that helps to relax your body. It helps to push away that anxiety. And so anytime you feel yourself getting real stressed out, you can use that breathing technique. And I use it, and you can use it whenever you feel. And no one even has to know that you're doing it. You could be doing it and no one sitting next to you and no one has to even know. That's your own little way of getting rid of some of your stress. So also I wanted to let you know, of course, we have journaling. You can journal. Okay. Get all that stuff out your mind, put it on paper. Okay. Keep a note. I was talking to my sister the other day. She keeps a notepad now and she writes down stuff. And I think that's awesome. It's awesome to get all this out of your head and put it down on paper. Okay. So that helps you as well, is to get that out. And last but definitely not least, contact me. contact me. Let's talk. Take advantage of that 15-minute conversation with me so that we can see if you are ready, because you have to be ready for the journey. Okay. So we can talk about things to see if you're ready. And if you're ready, we can talk about next steps on how we start the program together. Okay. That's what we can do. And that's why I hold space for you for. I'm here for you. And then help you to move forward in different areas of your life so that we can look at that plate, that secondary plate, and look at the foods that we are eating and say, hey, my eating has gotten a lot better because I've really worked on this one area of my life. And I can attest to that. I am a testimony to that. When I am stressed out all over the place, the first place it shows up is on my secondary plate. Because I'm eating comfort foods and not anything nutritious. Okay, I'm being honest. Anything nutritious, it's just I go back to what made me feel comfortable back in the day, and I'm not trying to make a comfort food in a good way. I'm just letting it, being honest, being transparent. That's what happens. So then I'm like, whoa, what's causing me to do this? And I look at those areas in my life. What's out of balance? Okay. And then once I work on that, I can see the difference in my plate and how I'm handling things. So, babe, what do you think about those tools? Do you use any of those tools?
Yes, and I think the one that you've introduced me to that has been really helpful is meditation. And I just want to encourage, because when I first started, and I'm just going to be honest and transparent, I'd never done it before. And so I've always heard about it. It seemed like one of these Eastern mystical meditative, where you sit around in a circle and it's just, oming. And I'm like, that's just not going to be for me. But then once you really explained it, that look, it's just breathing. All you want to do is, and I just want to encourage people not to get overwhelmed, because there's just like with anything else. There's so many different ways that you can do it and learn it. It can be overwhelming. What I started with is just breathing, just deep breathing. I didn't have a certain rhythm and things like that. And if you fall asleep, that's okay. It's probably one of the best things you could do. And I just want to encourage people not to be so hard on yourself. I know when I first started with it, even now, if you close your eyes, your mind's got 1,000 and it's just racing so fast. That's just part of the learning process.
Yes.
That's just part of the learning process. And it's part of the growth process. What you're doing is now becoming more aware of that, because before that, it's just been random. It's just been all that. And then now that's happening with your eyes open and all your senses are going. At least when you empower yourself and you take control of your eyes, now your mind has a chance to process some things better, because now it's not being fed all that data and all that information.
Yes.
So I just want to encourage people, don't give up. Don't give up. It's so, it's so easy to say, my God, I tried it for 1 minute and I just didn't get any peace. My mind was, that's part of the process.
Yes.
That's part of the growth. Stick with it. If you have to do 1 minute at a time, do 1 minute. You don't have to worry about, I can't do 10. I can't do 20. Do one. Tomorrow, come back, do 1:30, 1 minute and 30 seconds. Next day, do 2, or just stay with the 1 minute as long as you can. And I think that's the main thing, is just get started. What you're going to find out is, as you empower yourself and take more control of your life, that meditation is going to actually eventually become a place of peace for you. And you can do it as baby said, you can do it at the drop of a hat. You don't have to go into a special closet or a special corner. You could be at a stoplight and just, let me know, don't close your eyes, but this might be a time to breathe. Okay, let me breathe. I was getting a little anxious there. Things were getting, the person cut me off and I got a little upset.
Yes.
Just release that person, release them to their whatever they're doing. Release all the stuff that you can't control in your life. And meditation, that's one of the tools I just want to encourage.
Yes, breathing and meditation are very important. It helps to reset your sympathetic nervous system. It just really just helps you to relax. So yes, my loves, I don't want to hold you in much longer. I just want to tell you that next week we are going to discuss gut health and how it affects our bodies. We're learning now that your gut is considered your second brain. So
Hmm.
it has a lot of control over your body. I was amazed at what I found out the gut controls and what it does for our bodies and how, we want to have good gut health. And
Hmm.
like we said today, stress, and we call it our stomach, but our gut, how it is affected by stress. So we're going to talk about gut health and things you can do for gut health to keep you healthy and everything. And so I want to say thank you once again to my hubby that always shares real life examples, because that's what I want to do, and that's what he's willing to help me to do, is to show real life examples of what happens and what you can do to help your situations. So, once again, reach out to me for a free 15-minute conversation. And I want to say I love you all and to have a wonderful week. Use these tools, reach out to me, talk to your doctors. I encourage it. Be an advocate for yourself. And once again, thank you, honey, for being on the show with me. And did you have any last words before we go?
No, just I really just man, I cannot stress enough how important next week's show is because I didn't know. Only time I really thought about gut health is when my stomach was upset, and I really didn't understand gut health, which is more than just an upset stomach. It's more than
Yes.
just a lot of bowel issues. It's really about improving in that area, and so much of our body is impacted by what goes on our gut. You just shared an article with me the other day was talking about that gut health may be linked to Alzheimer's
Yes.
and dementia. And so our gut impacts so much of our body. So
Yes.
mark the day, mark it down. You don't want to miss next week's show because we're going to go deeper in talking about your gut health and how we can improve in those areas.
Yes. So, once again, my loves, thank you for joining us. I can't wait for you to be here next week for Gut Health Talk. And if you have any questions in the meantime, shoot them out to me. Let me shoot them out, get them into my DMs, put them on the comments. Let me know, and I'll get back to you. All right. Bye, loves. See you next week.